All right, Shalom. I want to start by saying, call all YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakakadash. Do my honors to the powers of Israel, aka the powers of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach his truth and all truth and sincerity. All right, real quick, I came across this article today, and it's a trending topic, if you will, involving around the government shutdown. The so-called the federal courts running out of cash. Esau about to shut down the snaps and the food stamps. Alongside with what's been going on with the whole ICE thing, the whole illegals, and basically the insurrection, the protests. I mean, you name it, it's happening right now as far as prophecy, man. All right, now the one thing prophecy, of course, we're waiting on is the MOTB, but they got that in motion too. But aside from all that, let's talk about what's happening right now as far as current events. You have I believe they said the government shutdown is going on day 20 because it was I think it was the first that the government, or actually October 1st that the government shut down, and it's been shut down ever since. And basically they're saying that everything is coming into shambles right now, and that supposedly they're supposed to vote tonight on whatever the fuck about handling the situation. But until then, they're saying that as of November 1st that people aren't going to get their snaps and their food stamps. All right, and they saying that's like 42 million Americans. But I just go to show how, like the Lord said, well, woe unto thee that go into Egypt for help. Because now, what's happening now is the goodies that Esau was given to the people that were, to the Jakes and heathens, everything that the Esau was given in America, as far as perks, if you will, he's taking it away. And that's just what a devil does when he's not getting his way. All right, because now what's happening is Esau's going down, so he's like, yo, fuck helping anybody. All right. See, it was all good when he was up in his high, place, but now the Lord is bringing Esau down. So now he want to bring everybody down with him. And that's really just, ultimately Jacob's trouble coming on the way, and ultimately America's just going to be destroyed. All right. But there's this article, this is from Florida News, and it says, federal courts running out of cash with ongoing government shutdown. Now, this is from today, I believe. Yeah, today's the 20th. So this is today, early this morning. And it says, the U.S. federal court system, starting on Monday, will begin curtailing non-essential functions and furloughing some employees after exhausting what funds the judiciary had left to sustain paid operations during the U.S. government shutdown. So why shutdown? I guess, if you will, all the reserves and all the stuff they had to handle as far as the procedure of things is getting exhausted. All right, and that's why this government shutdown is key to a lot of things pertaining to Jacob's trouble, because Jacob's trouble is going to be when Esau the government stops giving Israel that help. That's why the Lord said, woe unto thee that going to Egypt for help, because you had Esau, you was relying on Esau to feed you. All right, you was relying on the devil to feed you. Now, granted, we have to rely on him in some sense as far as like where we go to get our food. But you had Jake, you had people that were just saying fuck working and just getting that monthly food stamps and just thinking that shit was gonna be forever. But nah, this wasn't forever, man. Remember, this is something. The structure of the system was built on wickedness, man, and it can't last too much longer. And that's why the Lord has Esau pulling the plug. Because it's not like there's a food shortage, all right? But Esau wants to where like he wants people to have to rely on him more. What he's doing is he's strategically making people suffer to where like they're gonna be suffering so much that we're gonna feel like, oh well, we're willing to do whatever you want to do. And that's when they're gonna bring in the global reset. That's when they're gonna bring in the whole transition, the whole financial system change, global reset. And ultimately it's gonna be what? The MOTB. Continuing on, it says, federal courts will soon run out of money as Uncle Sam's shutdown drags into day 20. Former federal prosecutor David Weinstein says civil cases may start to get backlogged, but criminal cases will not, since the Sixth Amendment guarantees the right to a speedy trial. Court clerks and other staffers will whether work without pay or be furloughed. The Senate will try for an 11th time to end the shutdown with a vote tonight. Now, I don't know what time it is. It might be soon. But it says that this is the 11th 11th time they try to come to a vote And they didn't come to agreement with the Democrats or the Republicans. Congress. Yeah, I think it's Congress, right? It says, no, Senate, excuse me, Senate. The Senate. And it's all go back to Rome anyway. But remember, what Rome fell, the pagan Roman Empire, which is Esau, and now the second leg of the Roman Empire is falling too. All right? And what is that? And what is that going to do for the people that relied on those food stamps and that snaps for so long? And they said it ain't going to stop at snaps. They saying Section 8 might get touched. They saying a lot of things are being threatened to be taken away. A lot of liberties are threatened to be taken away. All right? But think about starting with food alone. You have, if it's 42 million Americans on food stamps, that means there's, remember, those 42 million people are the people that have the food stamps. So that means they got children, they got other people they feed with it, and so on and so forth. That was the end of the article. So I have the video. It's titled Current Events and Calamities. Because what? These are calamities. Now granted, it ain't even get that bad yet. Because the Lord said, what? These are the beginning of sorrows. All right? This is gonna cause civil unrest. This is gonna cause a bunch of chaos. And not to mention the chaos that's already transpired right now in the world and in America. You got a whole World War III about to take place. You got signs in the heavens and the earth. You got chariots flying over military bases, so-called UFOs. So it's so much happening right now. So let me get the scripture real quick. And I have one more article. I'm going to go into the NLT. Oh, yeah, that's right. They're going to... Nah. Because he would have has that. Oh, I'm already in Isaiah. Okay, Isaiah 31. So we're in the book of Isaiah, chapter 31, verse 1, and this is the NLT. Now, this is the scripture where it talks about woe unto thee that go to Egypt for help. And what is Egypt? What is modern day Egypt? America. And who is the people getting help? Is Israelites. Would it be SNAP, Section 8, food stamps, WIC, rent assistance? Now, granted, you have the other nations and Esau, Edomites that do it too, but who's Esau going to target first? He's going to target Jake, obviously. He always targeted Jake. They always going to target Jake. Jake is always going to be the main target in these heathens' kingdoms, man. Because why? It's from the Lord. The Lord said, what you should, and while these curses are on us, we should be smitten by the hand of our enemies. And they're not going to let up. All right? So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 31, verse 1 in the NLT. It says, what sorrow awaits those who look to Egypt for help? And what sorrow awaits? You have sorrow happen, man. You have sorrows happening. And the Lord, and YAHAWASHI said, what in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter? These be the beginning of sorrows. So these earthquakes, these uproars, you have protests happening. In the midst of Esau's kingdom being destroyed, he's going to throw Jacob's trouble in there, man. Because why? If Esau's perpetual hatred is toward Jacob, Esau's going down, who is he going to inflict misery to while he's going down? The Israelites. Because who's about to come up as he's going down? The Israelites. The Lord has his prophets out here. The Lord has his name out here. YAHAWAH BAHASHAM is being preached throughout the four corners of the earth. So now it's time for this place to go down. And while it's going down, Esau's going to take as many Israelites and as many people down with him. Like the sore loser he is. All right? But it says, what sorrow awaits those who look to Egypt for help, trusting no horses, chariots, and charioteers, and depending on the strength of human armies, instead of looking to the Lord, the Holy One of Israel. And now look what the Lord is doing. The Lord has Esau bring his armies on the Israelites, man. With all this ICE agents, the deportations and shit, all the regular oppression for the regular police. And it's all happened. This all happened within this year alone, within the first 9 months of this year. And it's only going to get worse. And look how it's getting worse now. Now, remember, Trump was talking about cutting remember the whole thing with government spending. And he said that the goal is to cut a lot of things basically fueled by the Democrats. And those things is things like food stamps. Remember, those Republicans, they don't rock with that food stamps, and the conservatives, they don't rock with all that assistance and this, that, and the third. So but that's going to cause a tiff. That's going to cause a rift in society, man. Because it's not just Jake that's on it. You have heathens on this shit. You got Edomites on this shit. All right. Okay, so this is Isaiah chapter 31, verse 2 in the NLT, and it says, "In his wisdom, the Lord will send great disaster." And that is the Lord not doing that right now, sending great disaster? And it hasn't even gotten to the greatest great it could be. Remember, this is just starting. Remember, I was talking to a chick I know, and she gets food stamps, and she would talk. I asked her like, "Yo, you heard about what's going on, so on and so forth?" She's like, "Yeah, that's why I racked up this month." All right, but what's gonna happen November 1st? You got people that got like multiple children. Even if you rack up, man, that food goes quick, man. Water goes, all these things, these resources go quick. Remember, because Esau, he deals with scarcity. The Lord deals with the abundance of things, man. Esau don't deal with the abundance. Well, at least other people. He has the abundance. He has the fatness of the earth. But as far as everybody else, we all scraping and scrabbling. But it says, in his wisdom, the Lord will send great disaster. He will not change his mind. He will rise against the wicked and against their helpers. You got our people that have been helping the wicked, man. Been fueling this economy, these coon ass niggas. You just had Snoop Dogg, when he said the whole shit about the kids being raised under the alphabet community, or with alphabet community stuff in the children's programming, he said that's not right. And now he just retracted that statement and saying that it's okay to have it. Which means what? These niggas, they're coons, man. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, Snoop cool. Yeah, he's made good music over the years, but man, let's call it spade a spade. That was some coon shit. That was some straight coon shit. All right? And the Lord is going to rise against the wicked and against their helpers. So the ones of our people, you want to get down with this shit, you want to keep this place afloat, the Lord going to destroy you too. All right? Verse 3 of Isaiah chapter 31 in the NLT, and it says, "For these Egyptians are mere humans, not God. Their horses are puny flesh, not mighty spirits. When the Lord raises his fist against them, those who help will stumble, and those being helped will fall. They will all fall down and die together, man." Hey, man, yo, Esau, America, the EU, NATO, all you heathens, all you Edomites, all you Israelites that want to keep this kingdom going, part of the crew of making America great again. The Lord said he said what? He gonna raise his fist against you. He gonna raise his fist. And the same thing he did to Egypt, he gonna do to this new Egypt, man. The city that's spiritually Sodom and Egypt, man. Well, that's America. That's Babylon the Great. And the Lord right now, he's raising his fist against this place, man. And soon enough, he's gonna come back here. He's actually gonna come back to the earth, and he's gonna come and destroy America. And that's thus saith the Lord, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. And there's nothing these devils could do about it. Nothing you coons could do about it. You want to act like everything was all good and everything was all peachy, like how this place wasn't built on the blood of your ancestors? Talking to you niggas, man. And those being helped will fall. It says they will all fall down and die together. It said they will all fall down and die together, man. So just because you're not an Edomite, you still won't get a judgment of an Edomite as an Israelite if you were trying to keep this place afloat. If you didn't think this place should be destroyed. Here's right now, I'm looking at a bunch of heathens, these fucking Elamites doing the fucking whatever fucking DY holiday they got going on. That's why I can't wait till YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI abolishes these idols, man. Here it is. We got the one true living God, and we have to watch these heathens, this puny flesh, these non-mighty spirits, worship their fake gods. It says, Isaiah chapter 31, verse 4 in the NLT, and it says, "But this is what the Lord has told me. When a strong young lion stands growling over a sheep it has killed, it is not frightened by the shouts and noise of a whole crowd of shepherds. In the same way, the Lord of heaven's armies will come down and fight on Mount Zion. The Lord of heaven's armies will hover over Jerusalem and protect it like a bird protecting its nest. He will defend and save the city. He will pass over and rescue it." And that's not talking about those people in Israel and Jerusalem now. Remember, they said that what? Jerusalem was a people before a place. He's talking about the actual people, man. Starting with the elect. And then ultimately, what? We're gonna go back to that land. We're gonna go back to that land, and we're gonna rule over these nations. This is gonna be a forever. It's gonna be eternal dominion, man. The Lord said, "What? I'm gonna put my spirit in you. I'm gonna make you a great. Make you a great nation of kings and priests, daughters of Zion, the children, sons and daughters of God." And it says, yeah, he will pass over and rescue it. He's going to rescue he's going to rescue starting with the elect, but then he's ultimately going to rescue the whole nation of Israel. The whole seed of Israel shall be glorified. But a lot of our people are part of that category that want to help this place. You got our people in the army. You got our people, the Esau's, whatever shit to further Esau's agenda. These athletes, these entertainers, they're part of the problem too. Yeah, it's entertaining to watch it, but let's call it spit. Let's see what they're really doing. And look at these motherfuckers. But at the end of the day, it's like, this is the stuff we have to endure. This is stuff we have to watch and see. But the Lord said, what? He gonna come and he gonna put a stop to all this shit, man. Mark the Lord's word. YAHAWASHI said, what? I will abolish the idols of these idols, the idols and gods of these other nations, man. And he's gonna do it with fire. And then he's going to do it when he gives Israel the true power from the heavens, man. That's right, the powers from the heaven. The one true living God. Our God. YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. These motherfuckers lighting fires and shit, but they going to see the fire soon. It says, Isaiah chapter 31, verse 6, and it says, though you are such wicked rebels, my people, come and return to the Lord. What? Because they're doing the same shit these heathens doing. Worshiping other gods, worshiping gods, idols made with man's hands. Wanting America to stick around. Forgetting that Esau's the devil. Forgetting that the way this shit was established. This place was established on the blood of the Israelites. Hold on, let me get one more article. I don't want to make this too long. NYC bus drivers. New York. Hold up. Oh. Damn. Where's that article? Hold up, bear with me real quick. Hold up. New York bus firm plans to fire drivers. Oh, here we go. Found it. Got it. All right. So this is this is more calamity because now this is going to affect children. This is going to affect a lot of people because it says this. It says this is from the New York Post. This is from today, this morning. It says NYC school bus firms plan to fire workers in service to 150K students in contract dispute. You hear that? Yo, 150K students. That means it's going to end service to 150,000 students. So that means that those students, those children, how they going to get to school? Because clearly the whole point of when this school, the taxpayers and all that shit, the parents rely on that. So that's going to show this place is just going as shit. And these are calamities, man. Remember, these are calamities that the Lord said was going to fall upon the Israelites, the inhabitants of Babylon. But who's going to get the worst of it as being an inhabitant of Babylon and in his kingdom, in Esau's kingdom? The Israelites. But especially here in Babylon the Great, America, because this place is going to get this is going to be the worst downfall ever. All right. So it says a group. So not just one group, a couple. It says a group of school bus companies plans to stop service to 150,000 city students and fire 12,000 unionized workers in a vicious contract standoff. A vicious contract standoff. It's a vicious one. It says the Post has learned. It said the coalition will inform the state Monday of its plan set to take hold November 1st. There goes that November 1st. What also supposed to happen on November 1st? People are not going to get their snaps and their food stamps. So a lot of those 150 the households that those 150 children, 150,000 children are in, probably could be households that receive SNAP and receive food stamps. More calamities. It says it's part of a state requirement that dictates companies must notify the State Department of Labor ahead of layoffs under the Working Adjustment and Retaining Notification, which stands for WARN laws. It says bus companies Logan Transportation Corp., Consolidated, and Pioneer Transportation saw their contracts with the Big Apple end in June and have been given month-to-month emergency contracts ever since. So from June, so we're in June, July, August, September, October. So for 3 whole months, I don't, because it didn't say the exact day on June, but it says since June. So July, August, September. So that's 3 whole months. And it said month by month emergency contracts. But I guess that shit is running dry too. It says, read more. It says, without a contract, the company cannot commit to the purchasing of buses and long-term leases necessary to continue its services. A draft letter to the Labor Department said, therefore, without a contract extension, the company's contractual services are scheduled to end as of October 31st, 2025, which is so-called Halloween. And what's also happening in November? You're going to have these elections. Elections for the governors. I know New Jersey, New Jersey, New York. So you have this shit is completely fucked. And that's what the Lord said. What? These are calamities. It said the letter blames the panel for educational policy for terminating employees at the end of the business day on October 31st, citing PEP's stated prerogative to shut down service for the affected students by not approving a new 5-year deal. Now, I don't know that it said the city of New York City. So that could be Jake, that could be Esau, that could be other heathen, but more likely it's mostly Jake. The fuck? It says indefinite emergency extensions are unfeasible and impractical for transportation companies, said John Crowley, attorney for the companies. A 5-year cycle is required to maintain labor stability and underwrite the cost of both new buses and real estate needed to safely operate these businesses. Crowley with Davidoff, Hutcher, and Citron said in an affidavit accompanying the WARN notice. Crowley said the businesses believed that they had a deal with Mayor Eric Adams and the City Department of Education on the terms of a new 5-year contract. It said the cancellation of bus service will come 3 days before the November 4th election. See the election? It says which could roil the races for mayor and city council, but members of PEP won't ratify the new 5-year deal, claiming it lacks adequate employee protections and prefer to extend the existing contract on a monthly basis, according to the draft notice being sent to the state and obtained by the Post. It says PEP's 24-member board includes a simple majority appointed by the mayor, but there are vacancies that could impact the vote. It will next meet on October 29th, which is 9 days from now. And mind you, the end of this month is in a week and some change. 11 days. So it said the bus companies earlier this month held off on sending out WARN notices at the request of the mayor's office in hopes that the contract dispute would be resolved in a matter of days. But it hasn't. It hasn't been resolved. Just like the whole thing with the government shutdown hasn't been resolved. None of this shit's been resolved. The only resolution that's going to come to this place, that they're gonna collapse this whole shit, man. Everything is about the federal whatever is running out of money. The whole thing with school buses is running out of money. Everything's running out of money because they're about to collapse this system, man. They're about to collapse the dollar and bring in a new. They want to bring in a new digital currency. They have to reset it. So they have to collapse this bitch, and that's what they're doing. So it's not a yo. Like when you actually see, and the whole thing is going to bring calamities on the Israelites, man, because the Lord said what? This is not your rest. You were not to start to take part with this devil and his kingdom, and that's why it's called Esau's kingdom, and then you're gonna have Jacob's kingdom after. The two brothers are not going to intertwine and rule within each other's kingdoms. Now you had Jake's that was in high rankings of Esau's kingdom, but Trump killed that. They're bringing it back to that nationalist thing, man. All right. So let me get that scripture. That Proverbs. In fact, I'm gonna go to the blue letter. Proverbs, come on. Proverbs. Now, when you go into the book of Proverbs, the first chapter is Solomon basically talking about understanding and seeking wisdom, and wisdom being like, the law, statutes, commandments, basically. So when he's talking about it, then I'm gonna start the first verse. So it says, this is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 1, and it says, the Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. Verse 2, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. Now remember, Solomon requested from the Father, YAHAWAH, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And it was granted to him. And then all the things that came after was granted to him. All right? It says to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity. To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. To the young man, knowledge and discretion. That's not what our people are doing right now. Because my father didn't teach me the laws and the commandments. His father didn't teach him. All right? Esau don't put you in his kingdom. Remember, the Lord said what? Esau, he said, you don't know none of my statutes. All right? So that's why this place got to go, and that's why this place is in the condition it's in, and that's why people are in the state of mind that they're in. Because what? They don't have wisdom. They don't have discretion. And that's why now the Lord is bringing calamities upon them, because the Lord now said what? I shall visit the earth which I have made. No longer will he hold his tongue. It says, Proverbs chapter 1, verse 5, and it says, a wise man will hear and will increase learning. But learning what, though? What are you going to be learning? You're going to be learning of what? The law, statutes, commandments of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. If you're an Israelite. Now, we can't do that 100% now, but the Lord said what? Rehearse the righteous acts. A majority of our people don't even care to do that. They want to be American citizens. They want to be XYZ. But they want to be everything but what? A son of God or a daughter of God. It said, man understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. Wise counsels, man. Counsels of what? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Lord. And the Lord's wisdom he gave to the Israelites was his laws. Now, of course, yes, we cannot follow the laws completely, but that's the wisdom. That's where the sound counsel, that's where the counsel is at, man. The scriptures. All right? Things written aforetime, written for our learning, man. The Lord gave the law to Moses to get to the Israelites so they could follow it and live in a righteous way. But now we are not, because what? Our people loathe the law. They said we don't want to hear that stuff. We'd rather not. That's what the Lord is telling Esau. Now the Lord is having Esau take away your goodies that you had in his kingdom. Oh, you want to loathe my law? Oh, you want to turn your shoulder from me? I'm gonna bring these calamities on. That's what the Lord is doing right now, and He's starting with the northern tribes and the southern tribes. You got a lot of southern tribes on the snaps and the food stamps. So this thing gonna get real ugly, man. Now, granted, they could quote unquote come to agreement. It's all staged anyway, but let's see how long this progresses, man. Proverbs chapter 1 verse 6, and it says, to understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. Verse 7, it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. And that's why our people have despised wisdom and instruction, because what? They don't have the fear of the Lord. You have people that talk shit against the name of the Lord, are people that are Israelites. You have Israelites talking hot shit against the Lord. Same thing they did in ancient Egypt. Same thing, and it's the same thing they're doing now. But now the Lord is bringing what? What did He do to Egypt? He judged Egypt. He judged the people that want to stay in Egypt in the time of Joshua and Caleb. And now He's about to do the same thing again. He's about to bring on the second death. Those missiles, the fire of His anger, the wrath of His indignation. All right. Verse 8, and it says, it's Proverbs chapter 1, verse 8, and it says, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. And our people have been enticed by the sinners, man. And remember, they didn't take heed to this. That's why our people, they're on the other side of this. It says, consent thou not, but our people are hella consenting with sinners, man. They're hella consenting. Eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, adultery, idolatry, stealing. And the list goes on, man. But that's why the Lord is what? He's bringing these swift judgments now. Now the Lord, He's shortening the days. He's getting the gears shifting. And these devils feel it, and Israel everybody feels it, man. You have to feel something. All right? But anyway, I'm going to jump down to the point. I don't want to make this too long. So this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 22. And it says, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge? And how long, ye simple ones? How long will you, it says, well, how long will you love simplicity? Our people love simplicity, man. Oh, it's for Monday Night Football. Oh, go to work and all this and that. They love simplicity, man. It says, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. How long will you hate the Lord's law, man? Look at these fuckers, man. That shit's catch fire on these motherfuckers, man. See that? See this idolatry shit? Look at this shit. And for what? What the fuck is this shit about to do for you? What the fuck is that shit about to do? Nothing. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 23, and it says, turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called, and ye have refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. And that's our people. And how is He stretching out His hand? With His prophets. With His prophets. His men. That's prophesying, that's giving a warning out. But they said, no, we're good. He said fools hate knowledge. And our people are being fools right now. Look at these fools. These are heathens, but look. Lighting fire Daniel up to Molech and all that dumb shit, man. That's why, the Lord has to return soon, man. Because if He don't return soon, we just gonna have to see this shit forever. See these heathens worshiping their false idols, false gods. Seeing our people be wicked. Seeing our women be whores. Seeing our men be moles, adulterers, adulteresses. Our children being fucking monsters on the streets. YNs. That's what we have to see. It'll be a never-ending cycle. And that's and kudo and call law YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI for what? Showing those men those signs, man. Lord, I'm glad I was graced with the understanding to understand the things that's happening right now, man. Because here it is, you got a whole You had the whole account about the club. These niggas lighting fire to their gods. And this shit means nothing. They just gonna go in the crib and that's it. But anyway, this is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 25, and it says, "But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my proof." See? It said, "But ye have set at naught all my counsel." Talking to the Israelites, not talking to these nations, he talking to the Israelites. You have set naught my counsel. And how are they doing that right now? By ignoring the prophets, scoffing at the prophets, talking shit to the prophets. That's how they're doing it, man, because they can't really hurt the Lord. They motherfuckers saying, it's whatever, man. So, here where it gets good. So, this is where we at right now. So, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 26, and it says, "I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh." See that? See that? And how is he doing that with his men? Because we see these things like, yo, see, damn, see, there they go. That's what they get. He says, "I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh." Now, let them explain that in the Christian church, man. Explain that. Because clearly Solomon and David were always speaking to the nation of Israel. The prophets, the disciples, YAHAWASHI himself, they were always speaking to the Israelites. Paul, they were always speaking to the Israelites. So why is the Lord saying that he will laugh at you in your calamity? When did that take place? Yo, come on. It's happening right now. The calamity is happening right now. This is Jacob's trouble. We're in the beginning phases of Jacob's trouble. But don't get it twisted. You devils that doing it, your recompense is coming certainly after. Like my man told Spartacus, or Spartacus told my mans, well, he was beefing with hey, what was his name? This is Badiatus. Badiatus was his name, his master. He was like, you killed the wrong man, and Spartacus was like, yo, and he will join you shortly. Basically saying that I know that he ain't shit too, but I gotta kill you because that's how it goes. Collateral damage. But the Lord said, well, I will mock when your fear cometh. And that's what's happening right now. You got our people there in fear of being deported. Heathens, they ain't fearing being deported. I'm pretty sure all of them don't got their papers and they're here legally. All these heathens in America, you don't see them targeting them. You don't see them bashing down the doors of East Elamites, East Indians, and Africans, and fucking Chinese people, Japanese. You don't see them doing that. All right. Verse 27, it says, when your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. So that's the time that's coming. You're going to have people that's going to talk about calling on the name of the Lord. When the calamity come, though, when that fear cometh. See, right now, everything is still kind of peachy, but not really. But for the majority of people, shit is still peachy. You can still go ahead and light out fucking candles or whatever the fuck they're doing for their idols. You can still go to a bar, or you can still go to a club. You can still, do your regular bullshit. But soon enough, you ain't gonna be able to do your normal bullshit. You ain't gonna be able to get no food because a lot of people, they be partying with the food stamp money. Going there, getting there, whatever the bullshit they need to get. Oh yeah, my food stamps card. Oh, my food stamps came. They say November 1st that the food stamps not coming. That's a calamity. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 29, it says, for they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. And that's it. For they hated knowledge but did not choose the fear of the Lord. So now, the Lord is going to bring these calamities upon the Israelites. And then they're going to want to call on the Lord. But it's going to be too late. It's going to be too little, too late. And look at these fucking heathens, man. You see that? You see that? And that's like Esau's kingdom and shit. You let motherfuckers come here and worship their gods on you. That shit ain't. That's a whole nother can of worms. So I'm gonna read that in NLT. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna read verse 30. And it says, "This is the King James." It says, "They were none of my counsel. They despise all. They were none of my counsel. They despise all my reproof." And we go into the NLT of Proverbs chapter 1, verse 30. It says, "They rejected my advice and paid no attention when I corrected them." And that's our people. All of the times past, they paid no attention. They laughed at the prophet. They said, y'all niggas look stupid. You had no shape up. You wearing dresses, so on and so forth. But now, where they at? Where's that scoffing? Where's that energy now? Cause I'm pretty sure a lot of people that walk past talking shit was going food stamps. They ain't not talking too loud now. Because now the Lord, he's bringing that calamities. And those calamities are judgments. Verse 32. And it says, for the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. And now the prosperity is going to be destroyed. No more food stamps. No more WIC. No more Section 8. All the little perks and all that shit that he gave people, the Lord's having Esau taken away. And here where it gets good. So it says, this is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 33. It's the last verse. It says, but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. See that? Who's that? That's the elect. That's a bang. I might change the title to that. This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 33 in the NLT, and it says, but all who listen to me will live in peace, untroubled by fear of harm. That's going to be the elect. So in the times of Jacob, that's why he said what? He should be saved out of it. Who's going to be saved out of it? The elect. The remnant. They said they shall dwell safely. So no matter where they at, it could be a bunch of chaos around. But they said they shall dwell safely because why? The Lord's going to be with them. The Lord's not going to be with the majority of our people. Because what? Those are the ones that rejected, that despise his wisdom, that despise his advice, that despise his prophets when they went out there on the highways and the byways and prophesied and said that, yo, you're the Israelites, and warning you and telling you to repent. So the Lord said, what? Now is the time for the judgment. He will hold his tongue no more. But I'm going to read that again. So this is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 33, and I'm going to close it out. It says, but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely. Now that's what we trying to do. We trying to hearken unto the Lord. So what? We could dwell safely. Because we can get caught up in trouble. We can get caught up in bullshit. Hell, we get caught up in bullshit. But the Lord says what? I will deliver you out of it. I could deliver you out of any trouble because who's the one putting the trouble on you? The Lord anyway. That's why the fear of the Lord is important. He said it. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. It says, be quiet from fear of evil. And in NLT it says, but all who listen to me will live in peace, untroubled by fear of harm. And there you go. There you go. That's what you see. Hearken unto the Lord. Just hearken unto the Lord. Listen to the Lord. Listen to his men. Hearken unto his counsel. Seek wisdom. It's going to be the only thing to deliver you in those days. What? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. So, with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakadash. Double honors to the Pause of Israel, a.k.a. the Pause of Great Millstone, and peace of love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. Shalom.